start out on your cryptocurrency trading and investing journey, you're going to encounter one problem very quickly, and that is that you have cash in your bank, but you don't have any Bitcoin. Luckily for you, these days, that's a very easy problem to solve. And I wish I could tell you the easiest and best way for you to do this, and that would actually work for everyone, but the problem is it really does depend on where you live. So I'm going to go through some of the best cryptocurrency exchanges now for the United States, Australia, and Europe. Now, if you're not in those places, a lot of these exchanges are actually global, but I'm going to really focus on the top exchanges to get your money into Bitcoin, because you need Bitcoin to buy most cryptocurrencies these days. If you want to trade altcoins on Binance, for example, you need Bitcoin first. If you want to invest in Bitcoin, well, you need Bitcoin. So it really is the very first place to start. And some of you, I'm sure, already have Bitcoin, but what this will be good for is I'm going to go through the fees that some of you guys probably didn't even know about. So even if you have bought and you're going to buy in the future more Bitcoin with cash, you're going to get an overview of the best exchanges to do it and how much it costs on each platform, a little bit about the security and a lot more. And if you've never bought Bitcoin, then this is going to show you, well, look at this. Coinbase, the best place to get started with Bitcoin. Now, we'll figure out that might not necessarily be true soon, but now you get the idea of what we're doing. So first up is, you guessed it, Coinbase. Now, Coinbase is available pretty much worldwide, but if you want it, so you can buy Bitcoin with US dollars or euro, pounds, or Australian dollars. But if you want to actually get that cash back and withdraw it, that's a secondary and very important part of the exchange you choose to buy your Bitcoin, is actually withdrawing that back to dollars, or pounds or euros. So they actually only support that in a few countries. Like, I know as an Australian, I can buy Bitcoin on Coinbase, but I can't actually withdraw it back to Australian dollars from Coinbase. So that's important for me. So this, I guess, is going to be mostly for the US customers. So here is Coinbase. And yes, it is like the most trusted and probably the easiest to use and one of the best exchanges. Look at that, secure, easy to use, trusted. Yeah, and it really is. Coinbase is a really nice platform, but the thing about Coinbase is when you're an industry leader and everyone knows about you, you can get a little bit cheeky when it comes to fees. So let's talk about the dirt. So this is the Coinbase, so this is their fee disclosure. All right, and let's get started. So on their trading fees, they have a 0.5% spread, which means that they add 0.5% to the market price, and then they take that 0.5% as profit. So every time you make a trade, there is 0.5% that you're going to lose. Now, let's scroll down to deposits. Now, Coinbase have pretty much the highest deposits, the highest deposit fees out there. Like, it's quite bad, especially like for credit card, like 3.9% plus that 0.5. You're already looking at 4.5% as an Australian to buy that. Europeans, Canadians, so you can see some of the places they support here. But again, we're focusing on the US. So a US bank account transfer is not too bad. 1.49% plus your 0.5%, taking it up to a 2% fee. That's not great. It's better than the 4.5% if you pay on card. But if you're looking for security and safety, and that's your priority, then I guess some of you are going to be willing to pay that. And now remember though, another alternative is you can actually buy this Bitcoin on another exchange and then transfer it to Coinbase as a way of storing it if you want. They don't have any fees on depositing cryptocurrency to your wallets. They just have fees on buying cryptocurrencies with a fiat currency. So let's move on from Coinbase. Second on the list is Gemini. Gemini was made by the Winklevoss twins, based out of New York. They operate fully licensed and registered to provide Bitcoin and ETH exchange services. And they really pride themselves on being like the best and most trusted, sort of from a regulation standpoint. That's their Gemini's real sell point. So let's have a look at the fees that it costs to buy Bitcoin with USD on Gemini. All right, first of all, it sounds pretty great. You can deposit wire transfer of US dollars for free. Well, that's already great because I know on Coinbase it costs me 1.49% to do that, and if you're paying by card, it costs me whatever we said 3.9% on yeah, 3.9% on card. So we already know that this is looking a lot better. But here's where Gemini hit you. Their trading fees are extremely high. A 1% trading fee is like, that's massive. That's very, very big for a trading fee. A good trading fee is anywhere in this range here. And you can see you actually have to transact $500,000 to $15 million every 30 days to get decent fees. So the total it's going to cost you to buy Bitcoin on Gemini as far as fees go is 1%. So that is already half of the absolute best deal you can get on Coinbase. If you do a bank transfer on Coinbase, you're going to pay half the fees doing it on Gemini. So you're already looking better there. And look, it is up to the people. I'm just outlining the facts here. I'm only doing exchanges that I know and I trust. So really, you should probably be hunting for the best deal on fees. Next, we have Coinmama. Now, this is for those of you that do not want to get your identity verified. They claim it as the easiest and fastest way to buy Bitcoin, and you pay for that speed and that ease of verification by paying a lot in fees. So to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin actually racks up a 5.5% fee. So you're going to pay for the anonymity using this platform. That is for sure. Yeah. So this is one of two alternatives actually. There's also one called, I haven't used it for a while, but let's have a look at it. Local Bitcoins. So this is your other alternative to Coinmama, and I think both of these are relatively international. So you've got Coinmama, and this is more of like a broker. They have the Bitcoin, you buy it from them, and then Local Bitcoins, you buy it from other sellers. So this gets a lot more complicated, but this is like Local Bitcoins is the most anonymous way, the most private way to buy Bitcoins, but Coinmama is sort of like a step in the brokerage direction from Local Bitcoins, which means it's a bit easier to use. It's more trustworthy because you're dealing with Coinmama, not John from bloody Sydney or San Francisco. So it's got its advantages there. And we can move on now, I think. Let's go to Australia. So as an Australian, you have two main ways to get your money into Bitcoin and get it out again. Actually, there are three. I'm not covering CoinSpot here. CoinSpot used to have hideous fees. I think they're a little bit better now, but I've never used CoinSpot. I know probably the chances are if you're an Australian, you are using CoinSpot. Think of CoinSpot as Coinjar. They're very similar. They're brokers. They hold lots of the currencies, and then they sell you the currencies at a marked up fee. So you can buy Ethereum with a markup, or you can buy Bitcoin with a markup, and that's how they make their money. So let's start with BTC Markets. Biggest con straight away is it has relatively low trading volume. So BTC Markets is an exchange. When you're buying and selling your Australian dollars to Bitcoin, you're actually dealing with another person on the exchange, whereas all of these other ones we've looked at, Gemini is probably exchange actually, but Coinbase is a broker, Coinjar is a broker, Local Bitcoins you're dealing with a person, Coinmama is a broker, and we've got an exchange here. So you're actually buying and selling with another person. They have pretty low fees. Let's dive into their fees. It's not too bad. So they've got a 0.85% trading fee for only $500. And if you're doing like 1,000 to 3,000 or 3,000 to 9,000, which I think is pretty reasonable, I think a lot of people would be sort of doing it like that. Then you've got that here. So like 0.75% as your trading fee based on your how much volume you do. Deposit fees is what we really need to look at here, and BPay is free. So on BTC Markets, you can do Australian dollars to Bitcoin for a free deposit of your Australian dollars, then you trade that to Bitcoin, and that's going to cost you, depending on how much you trade, one of these amounts. So far, it's actually the cheapest that we've looked at out of any of these exchanges. So that's cool. As an Australian, yeah, you go us. We get pretty cheap Bitcoin to Australian dollars there. So now Australian dollars to Bitcoin. And actually, importantly, you get the reverse. So when you withdraw it, you're just going to pay this again. And there's no like transfer fee. So So that is all good. Less than 1%, anything under 1% to get your dollars, your fiat into Bitcoin is pretty good. Anything over 1% is a little bit rich. All right, so Coinjar, another broker. These are basically just a Coinbase, but different, but available for Australians, like, because I can't withdraw my Bitcoin to Australian dollars, but I can do it through Coinjar. I can't from Coinbase. They're pretty good. They are actually a massive company. They're based in the UK, and I've really liked them. They have a couple of cool features, like they have a hedged Bitcoin account. So, and this is available for everyone, US, UK. All you guys can use Coinjar if you want. They're not just Australian. So you can actually take your Bitcoin and put it into a hedged account, and that keeps the dollar value the same. So if you have one Bitcoin at $6,000, you move that into your hedged account because you think the price is going to go down, and then the price drops, say it drops 50%, drops to $3,000. Now they're actually going to give you extra Bitcoin to make sure your dollar value is the same. So you actually earn a whole new Bitcoin by doing that. So when the price is $3,000, you've actually got 2 Bitcoin. Of course, it's still worth $6,000, but you've actually made 2 Bitcoin. So now, the fees, though, it's 1% on pretty much everything. That's how Coinjar works. 1% for this, 1% for that. It's free to get your money onto the exchange, like BPay to your cash account. Actually, it has a 1% fee, but then to transfer that to Bitcoin doesn't cost you anything. As I said, it's about 1% for everything. So you buy Bitcoin, costs you 1%. You move that Bitcoin back to Australian dollars, costs you 1%. Move it to hedged account, costs you 1%. So every time you make your moves, it's going to cost you about 1%. So actually, they might have changed that to 0.5% maybe, but I'm not going to go into that in too much detail here. We're really just focusing on getting cash and getting it into Bitcoin. So Coinjar, really good alternative. Bitcoin Markets, Coinjar, to me, they're very similar. I have accounts on both. So it's up to you. They're both really good platforms. All right, now let's move on to Europe. So Europe, you can use Coinjar, you can use Coinbase. I'm not sure if you can use Gemini. You can use local Bitcoins, CoinMama. And I'm sure there's some more European exchanges. Like I know Kraken, Poloniex. A lot of those exchanges you can actually move your cash in as well. I'm not covering them here because I know their fees are higher than the one I'm about to show you. So what I've done is I picked what I think is the best European exchange. So that is Bitstamp. And they have the lowest fees that I've seen across any exchange actually. So and they're available to US, Europe, UK. I don't think they're available to Australians, but I'm not 100% sure of that. I've never used Bitstamp to transfer my Australian dollars around, so I've never tried it for that. I think you can't do it. But anyway, they're based in, I'm pretty sure, Luxembourg, definitely in Europe. And we'll have a look at their fees here. So their trading fees are good. This is cheap fees, and this is what you should be paying in fees, not 1%. 0.25%. Now that's better. That's a lot more fair. And of course, you can get down to 0.1%, which is a great trading fee. But you've got to be trading millions of dollars. So 0.25% as their highest fee is fantastic. So if you're going to trade your Bitcoin from dollars, if you're going to trade from dollars to Bitcoin, 0.25%. But how much does it cost to actually get your dollars onto the exchange in the first place? So if you're doing a wire transfer from US dollars or euro, it's only going to cost you 0.05% with a minimum of 7.5, like $7.50 or €7.50. So that, guys, is good. You're looking at a 0.3% fee to get your fiat currency into Bitcoin. And as you now know, that is the best we've seen on any exchange. So I highly recommend Bitstamp. I highly recommend all of these exchanges. In fact, I have accounts on literally all of them. I actually don't have a Bitstamp account at the moment, and I can't use some of them to move my Australian dollars in and out of Bitcoin. So I'm limited in that way. But for anyone that's looking, they're all really great. The only thing I probably don't suggest you do is what most Americans do, and that's buy your initial Bitcoin on Coinbase, because you know that fee that you're going to get hit with is huge. It's not too bad if you're using bank, but 4% for card is obviously hideous, plus their spread. So that's just a word of warning. And I'm sorry if you guys have done that before. Like, I know I really don't want to be upsetting anyone here by saying that, because I know Coinbase is popular. And just if you have done that, You can be happy in the fact that you use one of the best services on the market as far as security and as far as like ease of use and usability. Coinbase is a great platform, and that's why it is so big. But if you're going to use Coinbase, just stick to the bank transfers, and you'll pay a 2% fee. That's twice as much as you pay on Gemini or Coinjar, for example, or it's 4 times as much as you'd pay, or 6 times as much as you'd pay on Bitstamp. But it's all up to you. It's all personal preference. And I hope this section helped you figure out some of the best exchanges for getting your dollars into Bitcoin and then getting that when you want to cash out and when you want to withdraw it, getting your Bitcoin back into dollars. I'll see you in the next lesson.